KLEK 102.5 FM.
Good Wednesday morning, Jonesboro. This is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 forecast. Occasional rain today and tonight, maybe an inch or two, and the temperatures in the mid-40s during the day, and the overnight temperature 35 to 40. There might be some isolated flooding. I think the clouds will be thinning out Thursday, partly sunny skies developing around 40. Northwest wind 10 to 20. It looks like those temperatures will be chilly on Friday, 32 to 38 for the high, mostly sunny. Your life, your music, we're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Around 300 people at a major bank in Singapore have been evacuated after a worker fell ill with coronavirus. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has won the New Hampshire Democratic primary. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party has been trounced in Delhi state elections by regional party the AAP. And the UK government suspended funding of the Commonwealth Secretariat, the body that runs the international organisation from London.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day, a better start than I'm having right now. This rain is throwing me off. All right, you're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. My special guest is Mrs. Shunqetta Cunningham of KHARIS Grants and Services. Good morning to you.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, so we're gonna get right into our conversation because today is an abbreviated show. So we're gonna be talking about the upcoming 2020 Nonprofit Summit. So I am so excited about this. So let's go ahead and get into the when, where, and then go into the details of registration and then what people can expect.
Okay, yay! I need like a drum roll. So we're excited for the 4th annual Nonprofit Summit. It will be held on Friday, March 6, 2020 at the Delta Center on the campus of ASU. And registration is open. We are so excited. I hope I don't have an echo. I hear an echo on the thing.
Let me turn this down just a little bit.
Okay.
Better.
We are so excited to have a lineup of wonderful speakers. So Mrs. Christy Jordan of the NEA Food Bank, she will be our keynote speaker for our morning session. And it's just an opportunity for nonprofit, community leaders, volunteers, those that are desiring to start a nonprofit. If you're in the faith-based ministries, schools, public servants, just anyone who wants to come in an atmosphere of information and networking, and just listen to best strategies and practices for how to move your organization or your soon-to-be organization forward.
I want to say that I attended last year. Even though I attended in a place of Legacy, I am very grateful that I did. I learned so much. I took a whole lot of notes. It was very beneficial. And it for anyone, I encourage anyone to attend because you never know the information is going to be presented. And so you never know what you can take away.
I mean, right. It's truly a conference for leaders. And this nonprofit summit, it's the only conference that's actually dedicated to speaking directly to leaders that want to live in some fashion of public service. Okay. So that's the other essential thing. You know, we have business conferences and other leadership conferences, but nothing that is specifically catering to nonprofit leaders. So we're going to talk about grant writing and fundraising. We're also going to discuss volunteerism, how to attract and retain volunteers. We know that with nonprofits, volunteers is they're essential. They're needed and they're necessary, but oftentimes there's just a communication gap between how an organization gets volunteers and then volunteers feeling like how do they stay relevant with the organization past maybe a specific project time. And so we have Mrs. Bethany Noto. She works at Merrill Lynch, but she's an avid volunteer. I graduated with her at Leadership Jonesboro at the Chamber of Commerce, but she volunteers with CASA and Junior Auxiliary, and just, oh my word, just a plethora of organizations. And she's committed. And so not only from the volunteer side, but also she's going to speak from the perspective what attracts a great volunteer.
Okay.
So excited. We're going to have Mr. Michael Hooks. He is, many of you know him as the car salesman, the car guru, and he's a top salesman in the state. But one of the things why he's so great at it is because of his pitching and his ways to engage you. And so he's going to bring that into the Nonprofit Summit and just give nonprofit leaders, because that's what it's all about when you're going to funders or trying to get people to work with you or donate. It's about how do you sell yourself in your pitch. And so he is going to share some information, but I can go on and on, so you can interject with the question.
No, I'm glad you brought that up about selling yourself. I think some agencies rely on, I'm a nonprofit, I've provided service to the community, so people should automatically want to support me. No, they have to see the intrinsic, is that the word I'm looking for? They have to see the value. How does it value them?
Yeah.
I mean, they know you provide a service, but how does it value them to support you?
Indeed. And what's the exchange? Because there's always an exchange, right? Like, it's just not about them giving you money because you're doing a public good, but why do they need to give your particular cause? Because there's a lot of different causes and a lot of different organizations. So what is the exchange and the benefit for them as well? What do they get out of it? Not just because we say, well, it's a tax deductible donation. Well, honestly, you shouldn't even lead with that. They know that. Yes. You're a nonprofit. So what's the benefit? And I think it's just important, speaking on that subject, why it's important for you to come to the Nonprofit Summit, because you get to connect with other leaders. Yes. You get to connect with other people who understand how to have those conversations, and then how to move your organization forward. Some people are just stuck on, well, no one wants to help me. Well, you have to help yourself, and this Nonprofit Summit is an outlet for that. So go ahead and register at www.consultcharis.com. But seriously, it's a grand opportunity for you to come and just talk and just listen. Sometimes it's also about being in the space where other leaders are. And that can also motivate you and help you figure out the next strategy for your next step.
Another thing that I took away from last year's session was doing that group session, that breakout, and I was able to communicate with people from different organizations that I maybe never have talked to at any other time. And so we were able to pull from each other's expertise and knowledge bank and come up with a solution to answer whatever question we had to answer at that moment. Also, I don't think some people think enough about diversity. When we hear that word, we automatically think race, ethnicity, and it's diversity in an organization is so vital because you are serving a variety of clients from different socioeconomic statuses to different education levels, along with different ethnicities. So if your organization internally is not diverse when it comes to knowledge and all the other stuff, how can you provide excellent service to your clients?
Right. That's a great point. Diversity is, just having diverse ways of financing and funding intake. When people think about starting a nonprofit, I get the first call and everyone wants a grant. Not necessarily the strategy that it comes with getting, just having a funding plan. Like, grants should only be supplemental funding along with your fundraisers, along with donor support, and trying to get other in-kind and volunteers. Like, it's a collection of things. So that diversity speaks well, even when it comes down to selecting your board. A number of times we have a number of organizations that do not even meet with their board or have trouble attracting board members, well, this is an opportunity at the summit to come again, talk with other leaders, but then hear from experts on how to attract those board members to your mission. And they can actually be people that you don't know, but just believes in the mission and the values that your organization bring. Wow. And that's a great thing too when you're starting a nonprofit, especially a grassroots effort. So many times you want to first go to your family and friends. That's a great support, right? But oftentimes they become too familiar with who you are and don't see the leadership. And so if you can't get them on board to be holistic with you about what it is your organization needs, and it's probably time to transition some people and get some other key people in place.
Yes, ma'am, indeed. One thing I know that you also offer through KHARIS consulting services, and you have talked about before how you are there beginning, middle, and end. You don't. It's a 360 wraparound. You offer 360 wraparound services. You're not just, okay, I take you on as a client, I write your grant, and then send you on your way. You try to be there through the process. And what I would like to see is more agencies, organizations, get a mentor. We talk about mentorship for our individual life. If you're starting a business of any kind, talk to someone who's already doing that. Even if it's a slightly different type of business, but someone who has started a business, someone who started a nonprofit. What was their process? What are their challenges? I'm sorry, I could go on and on, but
no, those are perfect points. Yes, those are perfect points. At the summit, Mrs. Christy Jordan, who again heads the NEA Food Bank, and everyone knows, about the food bank, but she actually came when they were at a crisis point. Wow. And she actually helped establish the 501c3 for that food bank and has been leading it ever since. Wow. And as you all can see, it's one of the largest nonprofits, not just in this city, but the state. And so here you have a grand opportunity to listen to someone who understands the ropes and who have built and has a multi-million-dollar budget and services, many counties, and of course has a great reputation locally and in the state. There you have it, and you have that space. So you have to be intentional about that space. And I know people will say, well, I could just go on Google, information is free. Well, let's just be honest. I can also give you a presentation or PowerPoint and say, here you are, here's how to write a grant. But the thing about it, if you do not apply it, then it's as if I gave you a blank document. And that's the same thing with a lot of, you're going to Google, you're going to research. If you're not going to do anything with it, then, you've wasted valuable time. But here at the summit, you're propelled to do something because you're there, you're listening, and you're convicted. And it actually just spurs you to say, hey, I'm sitting on whatever it is that I'm supposed to do. And then here are other people in the room that I can connect with to help me do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I really hope that people register for one and attend. We can't say that enough. Again, you get to meet people from all walks of life, from all types of agencies, from all different professional backgrounds. Not everyone, one thing I've learned, not everyone started out doing that type of work. They may have a background in something else and decided they want to transition. So they bring with them other knowledge, expertise. Yeah, certainly.
One of our speakers, actually Dr. Lee Fears, she would be speaking on how to evaluate the impact of your program. So one of the key things when you're starting a nonprofit is, I know you want to do programs, but you also have to understand the relevancy they have to the community. Like, do you actually know the need? And I give this example a lot, but it's so basic. But like, if you want to start a tutoring program, but then you're trying to go to a school that has an average GPA of 3.8. Okay. Well, I know you're saying, well, there's, the students that are not there, but holistically, they do not have a problem academically. Okay. And so is that program relevant to that school? And that's how you have to gauge when you're starting a nonprofit and your services. Are they relevant? Because when you're talking to donors, you have to communicate their relevancy to them. Like, how are they going to help you actually meet the need? No, not service your lack of, I need a van, or I need staff, or I need money to buy equipment. know, how do we help you meet the need of this lack in the community?
Okay. Awesome. So again, we need everyone to go and register. Good morning to Mr. Dexter Davis and everyone else out there listening and watching. Please provide some feedback. If you plan on attending, you have questions for Mrs. Shunqetta, this is the perfect opportunity to ask those questions. Now, one thing I want to get to before, we still have about 6-7 minutes. The pitch, is that still happening?
Yes. Okay. So we're so excited. If you go to the website at www.consultcharis.com, you will find information also on the 2020 Nonprofit Summit page of the $1,000 Pitch Award. And so it's so simple to register. The only thing you have to do is register 2 of your representatives from your nonprofit. Make a 90-second pitch video about your organization and your mission and programs, and then upload it, share it, and we will also share it via the website and garner as many votes as possible. And the top 3 organizations will be doing a live pitch on the day of the Nonprofit Summit for the opportunity to be awarded $1,000. And so this is a grand time to take advantage of course, it's $1,000. And then 2, it also just gets your message across to a number of people. Mm-hmm. And this is probably something that you haven't done before in your organization. So I think it'll just be great because it helps you work on your elevator pitch. Like, how do you summarize what you're doing in a short amount of time? So yes, please. I think that's so, thank you for mentioning that. I think it's really great for you all to enter. Oh, let me say that you have to be a registered 501c3 organization. The rules are on the website, and so we will need your IRS determination letter before we even upload it, the video. So yes, it's just, I'm sorry, you can't just have a wonderful dream. You have to be registered with the IRS. Okay.
We have a comment from Sonia Sanders, who says, invest time into your vision. Thank you, Shunqetta, for offering such a valuable tool to Jonesboro. Thank you for that comment.
Thank you. That is the Mrs. Sonia Sanders. She is just all around great. Thank you.
So we hope that everyone listening out there is inspired to register and bring somebody else along with you. Let's pack the room out on this day, because people don't know the hard work you put into putting this together. It's not about you. You are thinking about the individuals and the organizations that are attending, and you're trying to think about, what do they need? How can I provide what they need? So this is not self-serving at all. So I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you. It is indeed a labor of love. No, it is. And starting the Nonprofit Summit actually came from myself having the opportunity to go to other conferences around the state and in other areas. And so I sat there. I've never been one to kind of just wait for people to kind of do stuff when I want to do it. I'm looking around like, why we don't have this in Jonesboro, and this will be valuable. And I know people that want to attend but actually cannot attend, because a lot of people start organizations and are working, a 9 to 5, or just are so strapped for funding and time that they can't attend. So I was like, let's bring it here. That's right. And so I'm thankful. Again, this is the 4th year for that, and we're able to do this because of our great sponsors, and let me not fail to mention them. Okay. And my title sponsor for the 2020 Nonprofit Summit is Crowley's Ridge Development Council, CRDC, headed by Executive Director Tony Thomas. And so we are so grateful for their support. Also, my lovely sorors of the Capital Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. They are also a sponsor of the event. Also, we have Arkansas Glass Corporation. We're so thankful for their sponsorship of the 2020 Nonprofit Summit. And so it's because of people like that invest in the summit, we're able to bring this and keep the price the same as well. You can go to, trust me, I've been to conferences where, prices are Yes.
Like in the hundreds.
Astronomical, seriously. And so I'm just thankful for the opportunity to have those sponsorships and the trust of what we're doing at the Nonprofit Summit.
That's awesome. So we definitely want to encourage everyone to please come out. If you have any questions, comments, please reach out to Shunqetta. You can find KHARIS Grants, KHARIS Grants and Services on Facebook, or go to www.consultcharis.com. All the contact information is there. The summit information is there. Good morning to Mr. Andy Shantley, Will Glass, and Ms. Adrienne Jefferson. Thank you for checking in.
Hi, Mr. Andy's great. He's a community engager.
So
Seriously.
Please pass this information on to everybody. Let's, again, pack the house. If you are a part of an organization, you're thinking about starting one, you volunteer, you're on a board, whatever role you play, please come out to this event.
Yes, and I also just want to, in the last minute, just wrap up some of the benefits of coming to the Nonprofit Summit. Not only will we have the $1,000 pitch award, you're going to have access to some phenomenal speakers and practitioners in the field. Of course, coming to the Nonprofit Summit gives you access to the PowerPoint presentations and the information. And then you're going to hear about grant writing and fundraising, advocacy, volunteerism. We always give a great conference gift. And then you have networking opportunities and partnerships with other nonprofit leaders. And then not most of all, but added to that, everyone will have access to a live session with me about grants and grant writing post-conference.
Okay.
And so, again, those are just some caveats of coming to, again, the only conference that's dedicated to nonprofit and community leadership in this area. So I'm asking everyone, please share the information and come out. It's going to be great.
All right. And I love that it's in our area. We don't have to travel to Little Rock and Pine Bluff and Hot Springs and way out west
Right.
To go to something like this. So definitely thank you for coming and giving us your time today. Thank you for sharing this wonderful information. We hope that the room is packed. Registration gets flooded from today and beyond. Is there a shut-off date for registration?
It will end the week before the conference. I do not know that date.
Okay.
But don't worry about that, y'all, because y'all are going to register now.
Yes.
And we're not going to get to that deadline. So thank you all.
All right. So again, it is March 6th. Starting at what time?
At 8:30 a.m.
Okay. And,
right in the early.
And ASU on the campus of Arkansas
ASU
State.
Delta Center for Economic Development.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can't miss the building. It's pretty in the front, but you have to drive around the back to park.
Right. Great seating in there. I mean, the seats are great. The lighting is great. The PowerPoint. I mean, it's a great venue. I love it.
So it's going to be on the first or the second floor?
On the second floor.
Okay. And yeah, lunch comes with your registration. There are also there are drinks and coffee things throughout the day.
Yes.
So.
Oh, and I also failed to mention that we'll actually have meet the funders. So we'll have representatives from grant funding agencies that will be there. And so again, you have the opportunity to present your organization and introduce yourself to grant funders at the 2020 Nonprofit Summit.
So get your business cards, your flyers, brochures, or even like a postcard size.
Yes.
Some information.
Yes. And if you need help with that, just let me know, because I please don't have anything just like written down on paper. Presentation is everything. I'm more than happy to help you with that.
Invest in some colored copies of something. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we thank you so much for coming and sharing. And I know you won't be able to come back before the end of the month, but Over Cup, fourth Saturday?
Yes, the fourth Saturday of the month. That's every fourth Saturday at 9 a.m. It's a networking group for African American women business owners here, literally for an hour. We are together talking about business strategies and how we can network, connect, and just move our businesses forward in a very positive, spirit-filled environment, I assure you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And stay tuned to the KLEK Facebook page. We will post information. Look up KHARIS Grants and Services Facebook and a website. Thank you all for joining. Have a great and blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering